The most powerful thing that I can say about wealth is when we're talking about wealth, we're not talking about money. We're talking about currency. And our idea of money has been fiat-based currencies. And fiat is a tool. The thing about tools is they change throughout time based on the technologies that we're using. And the technology that we're using today is digital infrastructure, which is blockchain. So it's completely different from fiat because fiat essentially is just paper with ink on it, right? It's just a derivative of trees. Currency is simply just consciousness, right? Because consciousness is the only thing that exists in reality, in the universe. Essentially, what we're doing is we're using our creativity to form ideas, right? And we're collapsing those ideas into a physical medium of exchange, right? Which is a product, service, or anything of value that we use to trade for our time. Crypto doesn't exist in the third dimension. It exists in a higher dimension. So you can't point and physically tell me where the crypto exists because it exists in the atmosphere. It exists in the community. It exists in a different place that is not accessible. So we're talking about consciousness. That's what currency is. And over time, that's what wealth is. When I think about what's truly here at scale, the way that I like to describe it is a coin. And on the presented side of the coin is representative power, right? This is voting. So for a long time, lower class citizens, as citizens were either in poverty or just above the poverty line, we've only been able to access one side of the coin. And to make a clear distinction, it's not just foundational Black Americans, it's whites, it's Asians, it's Hispanics. So this is a diverse community of people. And so our community leaders have always advocated for us to go out and vote. Go out and do this, go out and do that to support and represent. But I'm 29, and the people who are in my generation, we've watched our parents and grandparents struggle to gain progress. And so we understand that we have to do more than just vote. And that brings us to the hidden side of the coin, which is proprietary power. This is proprietaryship. This is the ownership of real world assets and resources. And the thing about proprietary power, right, on this coin, it actually enables us to embody representative power because when you own assets, you represent a community, you represent organization. So what's happened this entire time is that we've understood that there was a door that was being accessed. But whenever we were given a set of keys, it was always the wrong set of keys to open the door. The United States of America, right? This country, at its infrastructure, in its infancy, was built and founded off of the sweat equity and slave labor of Black slaves. This is my ancestors, right? And so we built the table, right? That everyone in this country and everyone in the world benefits from. But the crazy thing about it is we've never been given the opportunity to actually sit down at the table that we've built and enjoy a meal. An example of a community where the individuals of the community are actually able to uh, feast upon as much as they please and get full, benefit, and contribute value to the community and to the world is cryptocurrency. You can't talk about crypto without talking about the underlying technology that makes all of this possible, which is blockchain. And this is the first asset class that the lower class citizens were able to take advantage of before the whales, before the large institutions, before the individuals and the corporations who decide which direction the traditional finance rails get built. So that's what this is about, right? This is why we advocate so much on clarity in this industry. It's not just because this is the infrastructure that we've chosen to build cash and revenue producing businesses, but this is also the technology that enables us to hold the bad actors accountable. So, for that very reason, the people who own the current power infrastructure, they don't want crypto to prosper. They don't want us to have it because it undermines the infrastructure that their wealth and power has always been built on. For us, this is the light at the end of the tunnel. To us, this is opportunity. To us, this is how we claim our power. A phrase that I say all the time is history doesn't just repeat itself, but it always rhymes, right? And so the reason why it's so important to, in general, to have education is to know what has happened so that we can make sure that we don't make the same mistakes over and over again, because that's just the definition of insanity, right? So it starts with us actually educating ourselves. It starts with us doing the due diligence. Most people who went to public school have never had a financial literacy class, and because of that, we go through life thinking that we're supposed to just save money, when in all reality, saving is just only the first step. That's how you gain the capital. The second most important thing is investing. And you have to actually know what to invest in, what time, and how much to invest, right? And so that's what it's all about. It's about doing the due diligence, learning, um, becoming more knowledgeable so that you can do what every single person is supposed to do, which is share the knowledge, right? You must teach what is taught, right? Knowledge is currency, and there's no use for knowledge if it stays in the same vessel.